Welcome to the Eglowitz Variety Show. Don't ask what it's about, because I don't know. I just do whatever I feel like doing, and hopefully it makes somebody smile. Hello friends, new and old. Welcome once again to the Eglowitz Variety Show. I'm your host, as always, Sam Eglowitz, and the channel hit a really fun milestone. Is this a good shot? Maybe a little bit higher. I had a good shot and then I ruined it. The channel has reached a really big milestone, and it might not seem like it, and I promise, I know I do a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff on the channel here, maybe a little bit higher. I know I do, a lot of sarcastic and tongue-in-cheek things on the channel here, but I say this with 100% sincerity. The channel has hit a pretty big milestone, at least to me. We have, as of a day or two ago, we have officially hit 50 subscribers. I think it's up to 51 now. We have 51 subscribers on the Eglowitz Variety Show. And that's a tremendous deal to me. So I figured, in order to commemorate the occasion, I've seen lots of YouTubers, do 50, it's usually higher numbers than 50, but I've seen lots of YouTubers do, 100 subscriber special, 1,000 subscriber special, million subscriber special, different milestones with specials to commemorate the occasion. So that's the plan today. I should have got some water before I started, but we're going to be okay. We don't need it. We're going to power through it. So what I'm going to do for my 50 subscriber special on YouTube is I'm going to do a Q&A. I'm going to do a Q&A where I ask myself, all the questions are from me, because I don't think I have a sizable audience enough yet to request questions from you and to get enough to constitute a whole video. So in order to, not have that happen, I made up all the questions myself. But I'm going to treat it as if it's a Q&A, like an actual Q&A. Well, it is an actual Q&A. I just am providing both Q and A. So yeah, we're just going to jump right into it. The first question I was sent in is, have you ever seen a kangaroo? The answer to that question is no. I've never seen a kangaroo. Not in person, at least. I've seen pictures of kangaroos. I have seen drawings of kangaroos. I've seen fictional depictions, both animated in a 2D sense and CGI of kangaroos. One of my favorite movies growing up was Kangaroo Jack. I thought it was just hysterical, and I was really attracted to, basically everyone in that movie too as a kid, except the kangaroo. But it's a great movie. It's a charming movie. I actually haven't seen it in a number of years, so I don't know if I still think it's a great and charming movie, but I remember enjoying it, quite a bit as a kid. I don't know if there's any zoos in New York City, at least. I'm sure somewhere in New York State there has to be at least one kangaroo, be it in a zoo or be it some exotic pet collector, whatever it is, illegal animal trading. I'm sure there has to be at least one kangaroo in New York State. I don't know if there's any zoos in New York City that have them. So to answer that question, no, I have never seen a kangaroo. I hope to someday, though. I think they're interesting animals. I've heard a lot of people say that they're not as cute or not as interesting in person. Then I don't want to see a kangaroo, because I think it's cute or anything. But I just think it'd be cool just to see it. You know what I mean? So if I ever get asked this question again, which I'm sure will happen at some point in my life, I can say, yes, asker of the question, I have seen a kangaroo. But as of now, I'm sorry to say, no, I have not seen a kangaroo. Thank you for sending in that question. You're welcome. What's your dream role? So this one, I'm glad whoever sent this question in. I'm glad that they sent it in, because I actually made a decision in the last week or two, and I'm not going to say I want to, but I'm going to say I will be playing, and this is not official confirmation, I'm manifesting. I will be playing one of the X-Men in the MCU reboot of the X-Men, in whatever form that takes. There are plenty of roles that I could fill in that side of the comics. There's so many mutants. The X-Men, there could be a whole cinematic universe, a whole alternate dimension, if you will, a multiversal situation. But the X-Men lore and characters and spin-offs, X-Factor, X-Force, it's also deep New Mutants. There could be a whole, MCU-sized franchise. It's solely consisting of X-Men stories. So I've decided, that if Marvel and Disney continue with their trend of casting unknown actors and up-and-coming, very small-time actors for roles in their films, there's no reason that it can't be me. There's no reason that I can't get cast, say as an Iceman, or say as Angel, or Beast, maybe even Cyclops, although I don't think I'm as good a fit for that part as the others. But regardless, I'm going to be doing that. And again, this is an official confirmation. I am not in touch with Marvel. I'm not in touch with Kevin Feige. I'm not in touch with any of them. It is just, it is manifesting. It is positive thinking, and if I believe it to be true, I will take steps towards making it happen. So yeah, I think if I had to really pick one that I would like to play, I don't think I could. I think I would be best suited for Hank McCoy, for Beast, the character of Beast. Or maybe Warren Worthington, perhaps. I'm too tall for Wolverine. Maybe a little too old for Iceman, because I think he works best as a young little brother type of character. I'm also, 6 foot something, so maybe I'm a little too tall as well to believably be like a younger brother type, or maybe I'm not. I'll take whatever I get, even if it's being an extra in Professor Xavier's School for Mutants, whatever it is. I will be playing one of the X-Men in the Marvel movies. Whenever that, I don't know, there's no official confirmation of when those films are taking place, but sooner or later they will enter development, because Disney owns the characters now. And there's no reason that it can't be me, especially if I start now putting the work in and really trying to get myself out there. There's no reason that it can't be me. So dream roll in anything, there we go. Next question. Do you believe the birds... Do you believe that... Hold on. Do you believe that birds... Whoever sent this question in didn't really type it correctly. Do you believe that birds are government spy drones theory? Do you believe that theory to be true? There's some conspiracy theories that I entertain a little bit, if not only because I find them humorous and interesting. You know what I should do next time? I took a quick glance at myself. I'm filming this front cam style. You could see it in my glasses there. I should have put something on the TV, not anything, copyrighted that'll get me copyright stricken or anything, but just something to make the back a little more visual. I tried to set this up in such a way where, it's kind of nicely framed and you could see all my little toys and trinkets and stuff. I got to put something on that top shelf that's more visually appealing than a Target bag and a green swimming pool for children. But I don't believe that particular conspiracy theory to be true. Like I said, there's some that I'll entertain just because I think they're interesting to hear about. But generally, I don't really believe in many, if any, conspiracies or conspiracy theories or anything like that. And the birds being government spy drones theory it's toward the bottom of the list of conspiracy theories. And I think it's one of the less interesting ones too. It's just too easy. I don't think it's fun. And I have a little anecdote as well that I think disproves this. Again, anecdotal evidence is very rarely, if ever, relevant in when you're debating whether or not something is true or correct. Sometimes it can be, but it's usually not, especially in broader debates or broader topics like this. But I used to work at a fast food restaurant, which is irrelevant, but I had a coworker who was from Pakistan, and he spoke, this is a true story, he spoke broken English, he was Muslim, and we got along really well. And again, there was a bit of a language barrier there, but we communicated. We figured out ways to communicate. He would show me pictures if he had to. He would type things out to translate if he had to, but most of the times he could just kind of, use hand signals, and he could use words that were kind of close to what he was trying to say, and I would, kind of simplify my English a little bit, and we were able to communicate. And we had a pretty good friendship. We always looked forward to working together, big smiles and hugs whenever we saw each other. And we were walking home one night after, we walked about 2 blocks the same way after work, after we got out of work. And then after the 2 blocks, we split up and went our separate ways. But there was one night, and a part of our walk is we have to go underneath an overpass. And this overpass in my neighborhood is notorious for having a whole bunch of pigeons live under it. And you get shit on. There's like a 60% chance that you get shit on every time you walk underneath that overpass. A lot of people bring umbrellas. If they have an umbrella, they'll put it under, they'll what do they call, open it while you're under that overpass. They'll put their hood on, they'll lower their head. Some people even run through it sometimes. And again, this is all true. I know I make a lot of jokes and do some tongue-in-cheek stuff on the channel here, but this is 100% true story. And yeah, so this bridge, I'm going to plug my phone in here so it doesn't die, so I have access to the questions, so I don't lose access to the questions. We were walking home one night, this coworker and I, and we were walking underneath the bridge, and there was a pigeon on the ground underneath the bridge. And we could tell something was wrong with it, because usually, pigeons, they're pretty comfortable with people, but they're also skittish. Like you can't really get within like maybe a foot and a half of them. If you get any closer than that, they'll kind of fly away. But this one, it wasn't, and it was kind of, hobbling around a little bit, and it was it was just acting strangely. And my coworker had explained to me that in his culture, they have a tremendous respect for life in general and animals in general, but specifically for birds. And at least, that's what I'm pretty sure he was trying to tell me. And him seeing this bird, acting so strangely didn't sit right with him. And he just went right up to it. Keep in mind, I live in New York City. The pigeons are often called rats with wings here, sky rats, if you will. They're seen as this invasive, dirty, disgusting, filthy vermin, even though we're the ones that industrialized, where they live. Regardless, him seeing this bird didn't sit right with him. So he goes up to it. He goes up to this dirty, disgusting, filthy, deserves to be exterminated pest animal. And he goes right up to it. It still doesn't move, and he just picks it up with his bare hands and throws it into the air. And then it starts flying and goes to do whatever it was going to do. I've never seen anything like that before, and that's, he explained to me that the respect that he has culturally, through his culture, and that his culture has for animals and for birds and stuff, and that he had to help it. And that would, so that story, I think, disproves, because if that was a government drone, and if it was a government drone malfunctioning, there's no way he would have got that close to it to pick it up, because whatever government employee, FBI agent was operating the drone would have been like, oh, nope, getting too close. We have to, we got to get the unit C3PB7 out of here. We got to get this drone out of here. But that didn't happen. And you could say, oh, well, Sam, maybe the drone was damaged, and that's why, the remote operator of the drone couldn't fly it away. And I understand that point. But if it was some kind of government drone, I think that the coworker that saved him would have felt it when he picked it up. There would have been an extra weight to it. There would have been, mechanical parts moving around. If it was malfunctioning that bad, maybe there's sparks flying out of it, you know what I mean? But there was nothing like that. Or maybe he did feel something like that, and he just didn't tell me about it because he wanted to preserve my belief that birds are real. But yeah, so I think that story, at least in my opinion, anecdotally, I think, it kind of disproves the conspiracy theory. So moving on. What's your favorite song you've ever made? That's a great question. Thank you to whoever sent that one in. So favorite song I've ever made. So keyword is favorite here. I don't think it's the best song I've ever made, but my personal favorite, my sentimental favorite, it's a song called Under Your Nose. It is the closing track of my debut EP, which is available on Spotify, Apple Music, on all platforms. It's the Lifelines EP, and the Lifelines EP I thought was really cool because every song I worked with someone with features and collaborators, and they were all people, every single one of them, whose talent I admire tremendously and whose creative output I admire tremendously. And the closing song on the EP was the 6 out of 6 songs. It was the final song. It was called Under Your Nose, and it was a collaborative effort between myself and a singer-songwriter, also New York City-based, under the name Nick Marco, or by the name of Nick Marco. I have the Under Your Nose stuck in my head, so under snuck its way in there. A singer-songwriter, a piano rock, piano pop, piano folk, maybe kind of singer-songwriter, named Nick Marco, and he's someone I've admired, for a long time. His music, his work. We've become pretty good friends, too. We first met at an open mic, and I saw him play, and I approached him, and we, struck up a conversation, and we worked on a couple little things together, but nothing that ever, saw the light of day or got released to the world. But we worked on this song, Under Your Nose, together. And I think it is such a clear and concise reflection of where I was at the time I wrote it and what my core beliefs and core principles and values were at the time that I wrote it. And I think that his contributions to it, he understood the assignment, so to say. He was locked in on what I was doing, what I was saying, what the message of the song was. And it was really interesting because his contributions to the song really made me feel seen and heard and understood and empathized with. You know, so it was really, really cool, kind of, and I think that's such an interesting way to communicate is through creative work, right? Like, I'm an actor as well, and I've taken acting classes and stuff, and I think there's no better way to get to know someone than rehearsing a scene with them, or preparing a play with them, making music with them. I think it's just such a wonderful way. It sounds like a great first date is writing a song together. Maybe I should try to make that happen sometime soon. My next first date, do you want to write a song together? I think it's such an interesting way to get to know someone on a deep and personal level. And I feel like me and Nick, we were just on the same wavelength with this song. We were very much picking up what the other was putting down. And I think, like I said, I think it's just such a great reflection of what's important to me and what I believe in a deep way, in like a core of who I am type of way. And having Nick so effortlessly, reflect what I was giving him and give me that same energy back. It was a joy, an absolute pleasure to create that song. Every step of it, the writing of it, the recording of it, the mix and mastering of it, working with Nick on it. We performed it live a couple of times, and all of it, every step of it was just excellent. I don't have a bad word to say about Nick or about the process of making that song. And I still, I try not to listen to my music too much because, you hear things and you go, oh, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, I was maybe 1,000th of a step off key. Or, oh man, maybe I should have used a different vocal take. Or, oh, maybe that mix isn't as good as it could have been. So I try not to listen to my own music too much, especially after it's out. Because it's like, at that point, what are you going to do about it? But that song is a song I go back to sometimes. And it's like, that's it. That's it. That is the song. That is exactly how I heard it in my head. I wouldn't change a thing about it. I'm proud of it. That's one I could listen to over and over, and I'll love it just as much every time. So yeah, favorite song I've ever made, definitely Under Your Nose. Like I said, it's available on all platforms. My music name is Eglowitz. If you type Eglowitz, spelled the same way as the channel name, you type that into any, Apple Music title. I think it's on Amazon Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to music. And you should also, while I'm talking about Nick Marco, check him out too. His name is Nick without a K, N-I-C, space, Marco with a C. So N-I-C space M-A-R-C-O. Nick Marco, he's a great personal friend. He's an incredible, incredible musician. He's an incredible lyricist. It was a joy to work with him, and I really hope we get to work together again sometime soon. Let's see what the next question is. My phone locked because I didn't touch it for too long. Okay, so the next question. This is a bit of a silly one someone sent in. But we got what we got. If you had to guess, how much Pepto Bismol have you consumed in your life? So this is a weird one to think about. I'm going to have to do a little bit of mental math, and I'll try to think out loud as best I can on it. So, in the last maybe 15 years of my life, not that much Pepto Bismol. I would estimate probably maybe 6 ounces tops of Pepto Bismol. Hold on one second. Hello? Did you just knock? Yeah. You could open it a little bit and peek your head in. What's up? I'm recording right now, so if you it's okay. What's up? Are you sure? Yeah. Okay.
Do you want me to start singing?
No.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, we peeled back the curtain a little bit. What was the last thing I said? Probably about 6 ounces of Pepto Bismol. In the last 15 years, I would say. But in my childhood, I think I consumed a large amount of Pepto Bismol. I know I had some stomach issues as a kid, and I don't remember drinking Pepto Bismol for it often. I think I was often given Diet Coke because soda, helps your stomach when it's upset, helps you get some gas out, release, stuff like that, calm your stomach a little bit. So I don't think I had that much Pepto Bismol as a kid either. But I'll estimate maybe I probably had about double the Pepto Bismol when I was a kid. So I'll say overall, maybe I'll be a little bit generous with my estimate. I'll say probably about 20 ounces of Pepto Bismol in my life. And I'm sure, what is 16 ounces? Isn't 16 ounces, I don't know. There might be a more accurate measurement to say that, you know? It's like saying 80 minutes or 90 minutes. It's like, yeah, you could say 90 minutes, but you could also say an hour and a half. So there might be some, better way to phrase it, but we'll say 20 ounces of Pepto Bismol in my life. Bit of a weird question, but it is what it is. This one I'm excited about. What is your favorite toy line? In case you didn't know, I don't think I've talked about it a ton on the channel. Maybe I've done 1 or 2 videos on it, but I absolutely love toys, and that's, you can see behind me here, I have a whole shelf dedicated to little toys and trinkets and stuff. I like plushies. I have plushies right next to me. I like plushies. I like action figures. I like all kinds of toys. I like toy history. I'm fascinated by toys and action figures and stuff. But as far as my favorite toy line, I could narrow it down to 3, I think. And I think I already know. We're going to go in order. I'm going to give you my top 3 in order, even though you didn't ask that. I'm going to give you my top 3 in order, from least favorite to most favorite. Bronze, silver, gold type of situation. Oh, and I should have prepared a little better. I would have had examples on me, but it is what it is. So in the bronze, in 3rd place, the 3rd place medal goes to WWE Ruthless Aggression action figures. So the reason I say WWE Ruthless Aggression action figures is because when I was a kid, those were some of the first action figures that I started collecting in a serious way. The WWE Ruthless Aggression line was so much fun because obviously you get, the big names. You get John Cena Ruthless Aggression toys. You get Undertaker Ruthless Aggression toys. But the Ruthless Aggression line got everyone in there. Maven got a Ruthless Aggression figure. Nunzio got a Ruthless Aggression figure. Who else? Colin Delaney got a Ruthless Aggression action figure. If you collected Ruthless Aggression, you could get everyone in your collection, and it was really, really cool. And I remember, even as a kid, when I didn't know as much as I do now about action figures and, the business behind it and stuff, and why every line has to include, or every wave, rather, has to include at least 1 or 2 big names. You got to throw in a Kane or a Triple H or a Shawn Michaels, even though there's already been a bunch of those already, but for the purpose that they sell, and you don't really make a Nunzio toy, or you don't make a Rob Conway toy, or you don't make a Rene Dupree, or any other number of less popular superstar figures that are less likely to sell. But Ruthless Aggression, we got everyone. We got Stevie Richards, we got Paul Burchill. If you were or are a Ruthless Aggression collector, then you could have probably more than any other wrestling figure line, or maybe, I wouldn't say toy line, because there's Marvel toys and comic book toys and TV and cartoon toys. But if you collected Ruthless Aggression figures, you could have the most expansive collection of unique characters of any wrestling figure line probably ever. They're innumerable. Well, not innumerable, numerable, but unless you sit down and really do the math on it, innumerable action figures, characters that were produced as part of the Ruthless Aggression line. So that's number 3. Love Ruthless Aggression action figures. Unfortunately, Jakks Pacific, which was the company that produced that line of figures, they lost the license to make WWE action figures. I think around 2008 or 2009, maybe 2010, but that might be pushing it. But they still continue to make other wrestling action figures. They made, I think they did an ROH line. They're doing a Legends of the Ring line with, independent wrestlers, non-WWE or WWF wrestlers. So you could even still get your hands on, some Ruthless Aggression action figures. They did TNA figures for a time too, but I don't think they did too many TNA figures in Ruthless Aggression style. I think they did mostly Deluxe Aggression. But all that to say, when Jakks Pacific lost the license to produce WWE action figures, Mattel gained it. And actually, my number 2, my silver medal most favorite toy line, is Mattel WWE Elite figures. So got a text message, lost focus, refocusing, Mattel. So Mattel WWE Elite action figures. Before I get into that, I'm going to say something about Mattel basic action figures. So when Mattel got the license to make WWE figures, we had basic figures and we had elite figures. The basic figure came at a $10 price point, and the elite figures came at, I think, a $20, $25 price point, and it's risen since then. But so basically, the basic Mattel Elite figures were a little simpler in terms of, they didn't have as much articulation meaning joints, so they didn't have as much potential for posing. They didn't come with as many accessories. They usually didn't come with any accessories. They were less posable, but they were a little cheaper, and you tended to get more characters in. You got more wrestlers in the basic line. The elite line was significantly more expensive. It was basically almost double the price, but you got more articulated figures. You got more detailed figures. You got figures that came with accessories, with weapons, with entrance gear, jackets, whatever things are crucial to the character they came with. The Batista is a good example. So Batista, if you're not familiar with wrestling at all, Batista is a wrestler I guess he was a wrestler. He doesn't wrestle anymore. He retired. But he's many tattoos Batista's got. Colorful tattoos, especially when he returned in 2014. Head to toe practically, or neck down practically. Colorful tattoos, a giant back tattoo, all different colors, very vibrant and visually exciting. The basic version of Batista was... the tattoos wouldn't be colored in. You'd get all black. The elite version, in addition to coming with accessories, coming with little clothes, coming with gear, coming with all that stuff, the elite version would have full color tattoos, full color gear, more detailed. And you don't get as many characters with the elite line, but you get, it's a very quality product. Especially in recent years, the last maybe 2 or 3 years, they've really stepped up. And there's some small issues with the line. There's the Johnny Gargano syndrome, with which any elite collector will know exactly what I'm talking about. There's small things they could improve upon for sure, but generally, some scaling issues, which is important to mention about the Ruthless Aggression figures. The bronze medal winner was that they were basically all the same height. You would have Rey Mysterio and the Undertaker. In real life, Rey Mysterio is probably 5'6". Undertaker, they advertise him as 7 feet tall. They would be the same size action figures, which was a bit of a detriment because they were often put on the same body mold. But the elite figures and the basic figures as well from Mattel were to scale, so you finally had a size difference with your action figures, which is a big deal. The basic figures probably would have taken the number 2 spot over the elite figures. For many years, I collected the basic figures over the elite. It was economically more feasible for me. You get more characters as well. But I think in 2017 or 2018, they made some changes to the basic line. They took away some crucial articulation, so they became even less posable, and they began to look like, cheap 99-cent store knockoff toys, and the line just really went to hell. Basic figures are basically worthless now. The only reason you buy a basic figure now is if it has a nice head, a nice face that you want to take off and then put on an elite figure. Or if they make a character in the basic line that they don't make in the elite line, and you want to, take the head from the basic figure, put it on a different elite figure, and then maybe paint it and customize it to make an elite version out of the basic. So the basic figures are basically worthless now, and they have been for, a number of years. So the elite line is going to take it, and the elite line would have been a contender anyway. It's not like it's a sympathy, runner-up type of thing. The elite line, the level of detail very often in the accessories, and sometimes they cheap out on some things, but generally you get cloth goods, which is incredible. You don't get a lot of cloth goods with action figures. Just pretty vast, and you all, in terms of characters, pretty vast. They've made a lot of elite figures of guys maybe that you wouldn't expect. They do legends, throwback characters in the elite line as well. And it's very solid. And the Ruthless Aggression line maybe is more nostalgic to me. I might like it a little more for the sole reason that it's what I grew up with. But looking at it objectively, the elite figures, they are excellent action figures. They generally are very good action figures. So elite line is going to get number 2. Number 1 is going to be Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends probably were some of the first toys that I played with as a kid, and my love for them and my appreciation of them has evolved with me as I've grown up. When I was a kid, I used to like Marvel Legends, and I would play with them, and I would have scenarios in my head. I would make up my own stories and battles and teams and stuff like that. You know, I was never the type of kid to play with toys in terms of like picking up two toys and, you know, slamming them together and going ba 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 ba. You know what I mean? I was always very deliberate and meticulous with my play, and that's just what I enjoyed, and I still do in a way to this day. So, you know, and then as I got older, I continued to collect Marvel Legends. I had a phase where I collected them in box. An in-box collector is where you purchase the toys and you don't take them out of the package. Because oftentimes, you know, they have a window you could see through, so you don't need to take the figure out of the package to see the figure. So I did that for a time because I was too cool to play with toys. But then it's somewhere in my teenage years, I thought to myself, like, I want to play with these toys, and not play with them in terms of, you know, sit there and like I said, but play with them, like, take them out of the box, pose them around, you know what I mean? See what different poses I could get them in. See what, you know, what setups I could make, what displays I could make on a shelf. If I want to have the wasp fly, how could I do it? I can't just, you know, put the figure in midair and then let go because it's going to fall. But you can do, what you can do is take string and hang it from something. Or what you can do is take some sticky tack and tack it to the wall. Or you could take some push pins and put them in the wall and then, you know, lean the figure on them and pose it in a way where it looks like, you know, the wasp is flying. Play with them in that sense, you know? And so I think there could never be a toy line that will replace Marvel Legends as number one in my heart. Because of how they've been with me for my whole entire life, as far as I could remember at least, and my appreciation of them has evolved and continues to evolve. Right, I have Marvel Legends on my on my desk over there right now. I purchased a couple recently, and they're right over there. I got the Falcon, I got the Retro Series Falcon, I got the Thunderstrike, which I think was from... What wave was Thunderstrike from? I don't remember. And then I got MODOK. MODOK was a deluxe figure. I just love them. I am a little disappointed with recent Marvel Legends, I must say. Marvel Legends between 2017, maybe 16, 17, and 2020, 2021, that 5-year span was a real hot streak for Marvel Legends. It was a great time for Marvel Legends. We had characters coming out ranging from Wolverine, you know, the most popular of characters, to, you know, who I'm trying to think of some obscure characters that got made during that time, to like Whirlwind, you know what I mean, like D-level villains that nobody's heard of, the Serpent Society, you know what I mean, like these, we had A to Z, we were getting different characters, we were getting different versions of characters. We must have got maybe 10 Wolverines in those couple years, but we got the Tiger Stripe Wolverine, we got the Brown Suit Wolverine, we got Weapon X Wolverine, we got Logan in his, you know, tank top and jeans, we got Logan with a motorcycle. It was a great time for Marvel Legends, in quality and in quantity. They were knocking it out of the park. But I've noticed these last maybe 2 to 3 years, since 2020, 2021, there's been a lot of things, and the toys, are still generally pretty high quality, but there's been a lot of things that have just made me scratch my chin and go, really? It seems like they're cheaping out on a lot of things, and the prices are getting higher and higher to the point where I almost can't justify collecting them anymore. I'll give you an example. There's a character called Siren. Siren appeared in one X-Men movie. I don't remember which one. I think it was X-Men 2. It's the scene in X-Men 2 when Stryker and his men are invading the X-Mansion, and Logan, Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, has that amazing scene where he's killing all the soldiers, you know, as they're invading and trying to protect the children and evacuate the children of the school. And the way that everybody is alerted to the danger is because Siren is awoken. She's just kind of like a background character, and she's awakened. And she screams, and that's what her power is. She screams, and it is supersonic. Not to the point of like a Black Bolt where she'll kill you with a scream, but to the point of like, holy shit, everyone in this house and probably within a 20-mile radius is awake now. You know what I mean? Her screams are powerful enough, much like her father Banshee's, to the point where she could fly using them. She could jump off a building and scream at the ground, and her scream is so powerful that it will propel her, it will levitate her. So that's her whole gimmick, is screaming. And then she had an action figure released very recently, and it's her first ever action figure, as far as I know, in the Marvel Legends line. I'm 90% sure I'm correct on that, but don't quote me just in case. And she doesn't come with a screaming head. She comes, her face, maybe I'll put a picture in here, maybe I won't. but the head that the action figure comes with is just a very neutral, and I'm actually going to make a note of what time stamp we're at right now, so I will put a picture in. I'm going to make a note to put a picture in 34, I'll put 34:30, and then I'll figure it out from there. She has the most neutral, boring, blank head sculpt facial expression that you could possibly have, and it's a beautiful face, and it's a well-made face. And a lot of times, previously at least with Marvel Legends, when you bought a figure, you would get like 2 or 3 different heads, and you could pop one off and put the other one on, depending if you wanted the character to be happy or sad or neutral or angry. And so Siren is a perfect character to have, 2 heads for, maybe a normal, regular head, and then a screaming head, because her whole power is screaming. And it's just like, really? Like, really? You know what I mean? You couldn't have given us that? It's just weird. I don't know. There's a lot of decisions, and I understand, they have budgets, they have, how much money are they allowed to spend per wave, but with the prices going up and with accessories going down and little things like that really honestly just feel lazy. It's kind of making it hard to justify collecting the line. But I just have to put it at number 1 because I appreciate them so much, and when they hit the ball, it's a home run, almost always. So I can't help but put Marvel Legends at number 1. I probably lost about half the viewership talking about action figures for 10 minutes. But we're going to move on. Have you ever met professional wrestler turned actor John Cena? It's funny you ask that, whoever submitted that question, because no, I have not ever met him. I have seen him wrestle numerous times. I've been to a couple of WWE shows and I've seen him wrestle. I probably might have high-fived him once or twice as he was passing. I don't know that. But a couple of years ago, John Cena wrote a children's book. It was called Elbow Grease. I have a copy of it over there. I'm not going to get up and get it. But he wrote a children's book called Elbow Grease. It was really cute, actually. I purchased it and I read it. It's about monster trucks, and the littlest monster truck is called Elbow Grease. And there's other monster trucks that are bigger, and there's other monster trucks that are stronger. There's monster trucks that are faster and smarter. And so he feels a little inferior, Elbow Grease. But then, he learns eventually that he's got the most important thing of all, which is gumption, which is drive. And that, that he learns that's what his thing is. Everyone's got a thing, and that's his. It's a great book. He did a tweet. He posted a tweet, John Cena, where the first, I don't remember how many people it was, but the first X amount of people that pre-order the book, get a personalized video message from John Cena. And I'm gonna go ahead and play that for you now.
Hey, John Cena here. We have a lot in common. We love WWE, we enjoy rapping, and we're both actors in training. Except you have a hamster, Christopher George, and I wish him well. And I also want to say thank you so much for supporting Elbow Grease Fast Friends. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah. I mentioned they had a little space, to put notes in there about who you are, what you want him to say, etc., etc. And I said that the message was from me and Christopher George, which was my hamster at the time. He since has passed away. But yeah, so I put that the message was from, Sam and Christopher George. I included a little bit about myself, and that's what he sent me. And he was quick, too. It was like the next day. And I was super happy with it. So I haven't met John Cena per se, but I have seen him, unlike a kangaroo. I have seen him with my own eyes. I might have, touched him at some point. Not in that way, although that might be nice. High five as he passed me in the crowd. Maybe, I can't confirm that. And that video message is the closest I've gotten to meeting professional wrestler turned actor John Cena. Next question. How did you become so effortlessly beautiful and charming? Who sent that? How did you become so effortlessly beautiful and charming? What a nice question. Who sent that? Who sent that? Reveal yourself. That's very cute. I guess the answer is, I can't tell you. It's effortless. Like you said, I couldn't tell you. I guess shower every day and take your vitamins and say your prayers. That's a joke. The last question actually is, what do you want to say to your 51 subscribers? So like I said before, I know that 50 subscribers might not seem like a giant milestone or anything like that. And maybe in some ways it's not. But I am choosing to treat it as such because just, this time last year, the channel had maybe 6 or 7 subscribers, and they were all personal friends of mine that were doing me a favor. You know what I mean? So to have gone from that to 50 subscribers, 51 at the time of filming, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I know I do a variety of content. I'm pretty sure, as a YouTuber, you're supposed to kind of you are a food review channel, or you are a movie review / movie culture channel, or you are a pop culture channel, you are a video game channel. I know, you're supposed to kind of have a thing that you focus on, and I don't really have that. I kind of count on that whoever is here because they enjoy me, which maybe seems like a conceited thing to say, and maybe it is a conceited thing to say, but the variety of content on the channel, no pun intended, is so wide. One day I want to do one kind of video, one day I want to do another kind of video, and so it means a lot that the 51 subscribers that I have are here not because they expect a certain type of content from me, but because they enjoy me. It's not the consistency of the style of content. It's something about me. Maybe it's my personality, maybe it's my humor, maybe it's my effortless beauty and charm, is that one? But yeah, so it means a lot to me that we have 51 people here that appreciate what I do and what I'm about and what I do here on the channel. And I say that sincerely. And to every single one of you, thank you so much for being here. I don't know when the next time I'll get to do one of these is, a big subscriber special or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe it'll be next week. Maybe I'll get 100, I'll get 50 new subs in the next week. Maybe it'll be next year. This time next year, we'll do another, 100 subscriber special, whatever it is. But whenever the time comes, I am very grateful, to have this little small family community that we have now. Or that I have now. That we have now. That I have now. That we have now. That I have now. That we have now. Whatever it is. I am truly, truly happy. Thank you so much for being here, whatever the reason that you're here is. I appreciate it a lot. I see... if I get 100 views on a video, I'm happy. I got like 500 views on a video last week. I was through the roof on it. That really all means a lot to a small channel like this one. So for watching, for commenting, for liking, for subscribing, for being here, and for sticking with me through the roller coaster that is the different kinds of content that I feel like making on a given day. I truly appreciate it. I truly thank you for being here. I know I say it a lot. I know I call you friends, hello friends, an old crucial part of the intro, but I mean it. I really do, and I hope you continue to stick around. I hope you continue to enjoy the content, or not enjoy the content. Maybe you're hate subscribed. I don't know. Maybe you hate watch me, and that's fine if you do. However you are fulfilled by checking out the content, I truly appreciate it. I think that's all I got for you. I don't have any more questions that I wrote for myself, so I will sing my outro song, and I will get you out of here. Are you still there?
Hi.
You guys want to sing a song with me for my YouTube video?
Thank you.
This time I want you to sing, and now you're not. No, it's okay. That was my grandmother and grandfather I was talking to out there. Okay. This has been the Eglowitz Variety Show. Don't ask what it's about, because that would have been a funny question to put, because I made up all the questions. If I would have put, what is the Eglowitz Variety Show about? Because I explicitly say not to ask what it's about. That would have been, I just do whatever. Nope, that's not how it goes. We change it up for the end. Now I'm gonna go take my laundry off the fire escape because I'm scared that it's gonna blow away.